Okay, here we have the saddle and the table for the Bridgeport, and here's the x-axis feed for the table. This is, I believe, like one of the original older version Bridgeport power feeds. I want to see if I can't get that working properly, get that part restored. I have not been able to cover the Bridgeport teardown as much as I'd like to. As you can see, like I'm ankle deep in grease here, literally. There's been just a lot of complications with this whole teardown, and most of it has been because the grease that was in here. I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment, and just life right now. I mean, I have this out in my shop, and it's not heated out here. As you can see, that pallet right there is where the Bridgeport was sitting, and I was able to use my awesome $150 shop crane. This is awesome. This is one of the best things I've bought from Harbor Freight. I was able to pick up my Bridgeport base, which was just the base and the knee, and I was able to pick it up, and the ram, base, knee, and ram. So it probably weighed about 1,200 pounds. Pick it up and put it over in the room. And let me just go ahead and show you that real quick. Alright. Just walk over here. So I have, it's like my barn here with a little bit of a shop in the back, and the only heat that I have in there is that wood burning stove. And then I have this building that is insulated with electricity and a heater in it. And there's a lot more light. It's climate controlled. But yes, I was able to move the Bridgeport in here, and until we move away to another place, this is probably where it'll sit and stay. And just pop in here. There's the Grizzly G4000. Alright, so one of the issues, the reason why I'm shooting this video right now is, one of the issues is, alright, these Bridgeports had what looks like zerk grease fittings. See that? Okay. And a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about and don't know what they're doing, they actually shoot grease in there with grease guns. Bridgeport mills were not meant to have grease on the ways. They were meant to have whey oil. So these are not actually grease fittings, these are oil fittings. You can buy oil guns that hook up to these, and it's just like a grease gun, but they cost a lot of money. So that's a common thing with these old Bridgeports. When you have people who don't know much about them, they don't take care of them properly. And the reason why it's such a problem is, let's see if I can get in there, and let's see if I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in. Oh, there it goes. Zoom in. Will it focus? No, I don't think it's going to focus. Sorry, guys. I'll zoom back out. That's a little bit better. But you see these lines going across? What that is, and I can feel them. I can feel them. What that is chips got stuck in the grease. And grease was oozing out from underneath the felt wipers. Those chips got stuck in there, and they cut little lines. So, if you buy a Bridgeport mill, when you go to buy it, look underneath the table, look everywhere, and if there's grease, instantly, right now, $300 off the top of the price. Right now. And like one of the things, like when I went and bought this from the guy that I bought it from, he I'm cutting him all slack because he honestly looked me straight in the face and said, I don't know anything about this machine. I've just been using it as a glorified drill press. And so he wouldn't have known to tell me this. So I'm not going to give him a hard time about that. But like when he was cranking the handles and moving everything around, he said, okay, go ahead, you crank it. And I was cranking it. And he's like, oh yeah, it's real tight. It's real tight. Yeah, it's real good. It's tight. It's tight. The reason why it was tight was because it was just packed full of grease in the ways and in the beds and just everywhere. And that grease just slowed it down. And that's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, people might think, oh, because it feels real tight and stiff, and oh, that means there's not a lot of play in it, and that they think that's what you want to hear. But when you go to buy one of these things, if there's grease in there, just right now, $300 off the top, and explain that to them. Like, look, this is not supposed to have grease. This is supposed to be oil. These are oil fittings, not grease fittings. And whoever started pumping grease into this, you know, they're the ones that have caused this damage. And it's like Keith Fender said, it's not the cost of the repair, it's the price of the damage you caused. So, as you can see, here's the cover, and underneath there would be the felt wiper. This side, it's missing that. So, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you that. I've seen a few forums because I was actually looking up what kind of oil to put on here, and a lot of the forums, you know, guys were asking, what can I do to get the grease out of the fittings and whatnot. And see, and another thing is let me go back to this. Like this right here, I'm just gonna have to live with this, like for right now. Like the grease, because they pump grease into the knee on both sides. This knee probably weighs 250 pounds, and I would have to lift it 4 feet. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd have to lift the bottom edge of the knee 4 feet in the air, so it'd be almost up to the ceiling with my crane, and I don't even know if my crane could lift it that high to get that knee off there, to take it apart and scrape all the grease out and blah blah blah. So I'm not going to do that because it's just, I don't have what I need, the infrastructure. If I had like an overhead crane, or if I had like a weight bearing beam and columns, I might be able to do it, but I don't have anything to safely remove this. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to do something stupidly and dangerously and get myself or my friends hurt. So there's no safe way for me to take the knee off, so that's staying that way. So, alright, yeah. Let's go back out here. Holy crap. I'm pretty sure that's a black widow spider. Oh, and it's dead. Oh, that was gross. Yeah, down here in North Carolina, there are like some gargantuan spiders. I went and pulled a multimeter out of my bag yesterday before I plugged my lathe into the power, and I kid you not, I swear it was a brown recluse spider crawled right out of that hole. So if you don't like spiders, don't move to North Carolina. Alright. Grease. In the oil zerks. We'll call them oil zerks, because they look like grease zerks, but they're for oil. We'll call them oil fittings. Alright, so here's the oil fittings. What I have done is I got me a real thin piece of wire. This is a nice metal wire, and I literally just stuck it right in there, and you can see it coming out the other side. And I stuck this wire in the hole, and I just started working it around, and then I would pull it out and wipe the grease off, and I would repeat that. And here's another one. Let's see here. See if we can't see where this one comes out at. Yep, this one will come out up here. And I just did that for all those. And then I shot some Zep degreaser in there and did the same thing, which really broke the grease up. And then I finally just compressed air. And buddy, let me tell you, that stuff shot across the room. It was awful. And right here's a grease booger that comes shooting out of there. So these are for oil, not grease. If you're pumping grease into your Bridgeport, stop immediately and begin tearing it down, because it's just going to cause you more damage and destroy it in the long run. And if you want to do right and take care of your machine properly and actually have something to give to your kids and your grandkids, then take care of it right. So I'm going to get back to that, and I will be back with more fix 'em up videos. Thanks for watching. Okay, something else I just wanted to show you real quick was how to actually get the grease out of these fittings. If you see, they have this like ball cap on them. See if you can see that. It's not focusing. Oh well, you get the picture. Let me set my camera down right here. Hopefully I won't destroy my camera. This is what I did. I took my wire and I stuck it in the front and pushed. Well, first I went in the back with the wire and I just worked it around and pulled all that grease out. And there's none coming out because I cleaned this already. So I worked a bunch of that grease out, and I have this soaking into greaser. And then what I did was I just stuck my wire in there, so that way that ball was open, and hooked compressed air up, just stuck the compressed air to the back and just blew whatever grease was in there, blew it right out. So, okay, just wanted to show you that. Thank you.